Okay, in this video I'll show you how to do the border of the leaf. This is leaf A, so this is the largest leaf. The process of making the border is the same for each leaf. You'll just do fewer single crochets around the border, obviously, for the length of the leaf, but how you turn at the tip of the leaf is the same, and how to attach the wire. So you'll need your border color, you'll need a leaf, and you'll need a wire. Okay, so you will cast on, this is the base of the leaf where the yarn tails are. The point is the tip of the leaf. You'll cast on down here at the base of the leaf. You see these where from our last knot, there's 2 stitches from where our last slip stitch was. We slip stitched into this stitch, so count 1, 2, and this is where you'll want to cast on. Okay, so let me show that again. This was our beginning knot, just kind of ignore that right now. This is where we ended our leaf, so we had slip stitched into that stitch. Count 1, 2 stitches over and insert your hook. This is a 2.75 funny hook, haha. A 2.75 C hook to be nice and tight on this lightweight yarn. Okay, so you'll cast on here like so, and then I like to hold that tail down with my hand that's holding the hook like that, so now I can get tension on it. Now this first few stitches of connecting the wire is a little bit tricky. You kind of have to balance it on here. It doesn't matter where on the wire length you start at, you'll be able to slide it through easily. So, whoop, see, there it goes. All the way on the floor. Okay, so kind of balance and hold that wire on there. It's okay if it's a little angled at first. Get your tension going and chain 1 around the wire. So the wire is in my work. Chain 1, and this will start to hold your wire in place, so you can kind of start to get more comfortable now. And then into that same stitch where you just cast it on, you'll do another single crochet. Oh gosh. Around the wire, like that. Okay, now in every stitch across you're going to work around the wire, so you want the wire to stay close to your stitches like that so you can work through it or around it, and you'll do 2 single crochet in every stitch, so you're doing an increase in every single stitch to the tip of the leaf. And on the pattern, I give you the exact stitch count for each leaf of how many that will be, but just know that it's 2 in every single stitch until you get to the tip, and then we need to do more of an increase. So I just did 2 in that stitch. I'll do 2 in this stitch, and my wire is being worked in to my work. It gets easier as you go because the wire hugs your work a bit more. And you can kind of decide if you want more of your wire, you know, on your working hand side or up here. Just kind of slide it through and around to see how it's comfortable for this first pass. So I'll do a few more with you. Go in, make sure that the wire is on top of the hook. You don't want the wire to be under the hook because then you won't grab it with your stitch. So make sure the hook is up there with the 2 loops that you went under. Single crochet, increase, so 1 more in that same stitch. And these increases aren't going to increase the size of our work since we're using a thinner gauge for the border. It's just going to create a really nice texture, and it's real pretty to see 2 stitches in each of the border. It just makes a nice texture. So I will continue to do 2 single crochet in each stitch. Oops, split my yarn. I'll continue to do 2 single crochet in each stitch up the side of the leaf, and I will meet you at the top of the leaf to show you how to turn around the other side. Okay, I've made it to the tip of the leaf. This is what it's looking like. I just love this hand-dyed yarn. I love how it has little splotches of color. That's the front of my work. There's the back. I did 2 single crochet in every stitch, and now I've made it to the tip of the leaf. I stop here where there is like eyeball which stitch is the very tippy top. So for this leaf it's that one, and I stop with 1 more stitch. So there's 1, 2, 3 stitches at the tippy top of the leaf right here. That in these 3 stitches we're going to work 3 single crochet in each stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 in all 3 of those stitches. That'll turn us around without curling the leaf towards us. So before you do that, you need to bend your wire. Make sure you're leaving a few inches down here before you bend it, because once you bend it, it will be more difficult to slide it around. It's easy whenever it's not bent yet, but you need a little bit because this is what's going to poke into the floral foam and keep the leaf standing upright. So just grab the other end, bend it around. For these larger leaves, you'll use the whole wire. There's the 2 ends. It's okay if they're not exactly perfect. You want to be relatively even, but it's okay if they're not exactly perfect. And kind of, you know, raise your leaf back up so that it mirrors the shape of the wire, like so. Then you will begin doing crochets again. You'll do 3 in each of the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, all in that same stitch. Okay, still need to keep pushing that wire down just for this few stitches so it'll be nice and close to there. And then again, 1, 2, 3. It should be kind of crowded right here, which is good. That's what we want. Keep pushing that wire in there. And 1 more round of 3 in this next stitch. 1, 2, 3. Now you'll turn your work to work around the other side of the leaf and the other side of the wire. It should be looking like this. And if it was, you know, more bunched up like that, you just kind of wiggle it around the side of the wire like that. So now I'll continue just doing 2 single crochet in every stitch. So 1, 2, make sure that your wire is not slipping behind you and getting on the other side of your hook. You want it to be on top of your hook so that it goes within the stitch. So I'll continue doing 2 single crochet, or aka an increase in every stitch, until we make it down here to the base, and I'll meet you back there. Alright, so I've made it down the other side of my leaf with the first row of the border. This is where I ended the inner leaf, so you can tell in this stitch right here is the slip stitch I made. So you want to continue your border until you make it to the stitch before your fasten off. Okay, so for me, where I just paused, I have 2 more stitches to go where I'll do an increase and an increase. So I'll do that with you. And again, I have the exact stitch counts on the pattern, but if you're like me and you'd rather just be able to just crochet without having to think too hard, I'm trying to give you a visual as to where to stop so you don't have to count all of these stitches. You could just count in your head 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, or increase, 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 and then visually you can see where you need to stop. So hopefully that's helpful for if you're like me and you don't want to count that high. I like to watch TV and stuff while I crochet, so it can't be too much counting. Okay, so that's what the first round or row, it's a row of the border looks like. Okay, now we're gonna chain 1 and turn your work. Make sure you don't get tangled up on your wire. Turn your work this way. And now we're going to do a single crochet in each stitch. So no increasing right now. 1, 2. So this is just regular old single crochet from our previous round, or I keep saying round, row. And you just continue to do a single crochet in every stitch until you make it to the tip, and I will meet you back to show you how to work around the tip of the leaf. Okay, I've done 1 single crochet in each stitch to the tip of the leaf, and now I want to show you, if you're like me and you'd rather eyeball instead of count all of those, you'll just look at the tip of your leaf and decide which 3 stitches you think are at the tippy top of the leaf. So for me, that's right there is the very tippy top, and then 1 to the right and 1 to the left. So in those 3 stitches, right here, right here, and right here, I would do an increase. So 3 increases in a row. Single crochet twice, single crochet twice, single crochet twice. And that will just help the leaf work around this curve better without curling in or out. So I have a few more stitches to go before I get to those tippy top stitches, as I like to call them. And again, if you're a counter, good for you. I will include the counting in there for you to be exact. But if you're not a counter like me, I'm trying to help you eyeball it. Okay, so now I'm at my tippy top stitches. This one, this one, this one. And I will work an increase in each of those. 1, 2. And I need to mention in this round, you're not working round. Why do I keep saying round? In this row, you're not working under the wire. The wire is inside of this part. So working in your normal loops of these stitches, you will not be working under the wire. You're working on top of the wire. So this round you get to kind of forget about the wire, which is nice. 1 more increase. Now I just continue. I've turned around the tip, and I just continue doing 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way to the base of the leaf. I will do that, and then I will meet you back to show you what it should look like at the end. Okay, I've made it to the base of the leaf. I have 2 more single crochet stitches to go to make it to where I started in row 1. And then you can cut your yarn. You don't need a real long tail, just enough to be able to work with it. And that is what finished leaf A looks like. As far as which side is the right side or the front of the leaf is really personal preference. I prefer that I call this the front of the leaf and the back of the leaf, only because if you look at the inner stitches, this is the wrong side of the inner stitches, and this is the right side of the inner stitches, but it's really just whatever you think is prettiest. So in assembly, this part of the leaf would be facing the rest of the leaves, and the back of the leaf right here would be facing outward. That's just how I assemble them, but it's really personal preference. It really looks pretty either way. And then to secure these tails, if you love weaving in yarn tails, you go for it. If you're like me and it's not your favorite thing to do, since I already have the hot glue gun out and ready to attach the soil ring during assembly, I just make a cute little crisscross of these so that they're all meeting in the middle. And I just put a small dab of hot glue over these at the base, and I have a silicone fingertip to protect my finger from the heat, and I just squish it down like that. Then I snip the excess yarn tails, and you won't even be able to see that crisscross right there, because once you press the ends into the soil ring during assembly, that will be hidden under there like that. But if you would rather weave in each of these, this is the time to do it before assembly, to weave in all of these ends before you stick it in the floral foam. So there you go.